Borleske Stadium outside food and beverage policy is found at the front gate and online at WallaWallaSweets.com. We are a weapons-free facility, and any activities perceived as dangerous or menacing to patrons will not be permitted. We reserve the right to refuse service to anyone.
It is a very warm Wednesday night here in Walla Walla, Washington. The Yakima Valley Pippins looking to win a series and potentially take the season series over their Battle of the Basin rival, the Walla Walla Sweets. After winning Game 1 last night in smoky conditions, the weather has warmed up a few degrees. The smoke has increased by just a little bit, but we are going to be playing baseball tonight. Inside a very busy Walla Walla, Washington, there's a lot going on this time of year in WW Squared. I'm Harmon Johnsen, your voice of the Yakima Valley Pippins. It was a fun one last night. The Pippins winning 3-2, all 3 runs coming in the 7th inning. Yakima Valley exploded for 5 hits, 3 runs. They left 2 men on board. It was a great start by Eric Anthony, going 6 innings, giving up 1 run on 3 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Oliver Wilday, Wyatt Robinson both came in and threw scoreless innings. And then John Witt shut the door, picked up his 8th save of the season. He did give up a run, but the more important stat in the column is Yakima Valley winning the game 3-2. It's very hot today. It is going to be certainly an uncomfortable broadcast and an uncomfortable game for the first probably 5 to 8 innings, depending on when the sun goes down. These games have been going very quick, so hopefully Yakima Valley able to head back to the hotel and get back into the air conditioning sooner rather than later. And of course, it's going to potentially be a tough get out of Borleske Stadium. Jelly Roll, the famed country artist, former inmate turned Christian, and a worldwide phenomenon now, is performing across the street over by the golf course. And let me tell you, when we were driving in on the bus, there were road closures everywhere. There were a couple of spots that we normally take that we had to ask the police to let us through because we needed to get to our parking spot for the bus. It's a crazy evening here in Walla Walla. It's an outdoor concert. The smoke not going to affect the party at all. And so we'll see. We'll probably be able to hear some of the music once that concert gets underway. I think the opening acts are supposed to go at 7, and then maybe we'll get some Jelly Roll music as we continue throughout the night. So it should be an interesting atmosphere hearing the concert beyond the outfield wall, especially beyond the football bleachers on the first base side. Baseball, though, the focus tonight here at Borleske Stadium. Yakima Valley coming into this game with a record of 7-6, 19-21 overall. Walla Walla 10-6 in the second half, 25-18. I was talking with Pippins head coach Kyle Crustangel in the lobby of the hotel before we came over here, talking about how close the South is. The South Division is separated by 8.5 games overall. And in the second half, it's a little bit more spread out because you had Ridgefield off to that extremely slow start. But essentially, you've got Corvallis, Portland, Yakima Valley. You could even argue Springfield, Marion, and Bend are still in the hunt for those final 2 playoff spots. It looks as though Walla Walla is going to lock up the second half title, so they would be automatically in. But Corvallis 21-19, Portland 20-20, Yakima Valley 19-21, and then Springfield, Marion are both 16-24. Bend is 15-25. And so with still 14-ish games left to play, depending on your schedule, Pippins are under that 15 mark. This is 14. We'll count the days down as we get closer to that Wednesday down in Portland. There's still a lot to be decided. And for Walla Walla, they're in the same boat Yakima Valley is. They have 6 games against the Portland Pickles coming up over the next week and a half. And that, if Walla Walla can get the job done, can help Yakima Valley, keeping in mind that the Pippins would also need to win on those days that Portland could potentially lose. So still a lot yet to be decided. The bottom half of the South is going to beat up the bottom half of the South. Looks like the top half is going to beat up on the top half. We'll have to see how this playoff race shakes out in the South Division. Should be a fun one. Should be an enjoyable one. And if Yakima Valley can get the job done tonight, they'll look to potentially sweep the Walla Walla Sweets. They swept the Ridgefield Raptors earlier on in this second half, and a sweep over the Sweets on the road could be the catalyst that Yakima Valley needs to propel themselves into a good weekend against the Corvallis Knights. Let's meet the starting lineups for both teams as they are announced on the field, and the ceremonial first onion is going to be tossed to home plate as one of the more interesting pregame ceremonies. Walla Walla coming into this game at 10-6, 25-18 overall. They'll lead it off with the first baseman, number 17, Peyton Knowles. Batting second as the third baseman, number 31, Trevor T. Batting third, the shortstop, number 44, Gage Reeser. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, number 21, Sam Kane. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, number 34, Royce Hale. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 29, Troy Osborne. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 9, Ethan Buckley. Batting eighth, the second baseman, number 14, Gaines Hassan. And batting ninth, the right fielder, number 41, Ronan Schofield. Again for Walla Walla, Knowles, T. Reeser, Kane, Hale, Osborne, Buckley, Hassan, Schofield. Their starting pitcher today is Nico Bavaro. The Sweets are managed by Leo Rivera in his first season as the head man of the Sweets. Now for the Yakima Valley Pippins coming into this game with a record of 7-6 in the second half and 19-21 overall. They sit 4.5 games out of first place in the overall standings, only 1.5 in the second half, believe it or not. Tyson Miller leads it off. He will play right field and wear number 3. Batting second is the second baseman, number 7, Jay O'Neill. Batting third, the center fielder, number 15, Luis Garcia. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter, number 25, Parker Burt. Batting fifth, the left fielder, number 4, Trey Godoy. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 13, Levi Sotomayor. Batting seventh, the shortstop, number 9, Brandon Stone. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 20, Diego Davis. And batting ninth, the third baseman, number 16, a new addition to the roster today, Cole French, an incoming freshman to Yakima Valley College. So French will get his first taste of collegiate baseball here tonight with the Pippins. Again for Yakima Valley, Miller, O'Neill, Garcia, Burt, Godoy, Sotomayor, Stone, Davis, and French. Dawson Barabalt will be the starting pitcher for Yakima Valley. The Pippins are managed by Kyle Crustangel in his 5th season at the helm of the Pippins. Cole French, I was down on the field during batting practice, watched him take some ground balls over at the hot corner. Looks to be a very capable glove. He's got a very strong arm to go across the diamond, and we'll see what his bat looks like. His first couple of swings in the Turtle today were fairly loud. They were gappers. They were very hard hit. And so Cole French hopefully going to be thrust into the fire and have some success against these Walla Walla Sweets. Last night was a very quick game, 2 hours and 31 minutes in front of 1,028 fans. It was 93 degrees then. It is about 8 degrees warmer right now. Temperatures during batting practice were at 100 or just above 100. I think the temperatures have dipped back below the triple digits, but it still feels very, very warm, very, very muggy. And so wherever you are, hopefully you're having a little bit cooler of an experience than we are here at Borleske Stadium. Everybody right now in the West Coast League seems to be dealing with some heat. Of course, across most of the country, there's a massive heat wave spreading across. That's partly due to some wildfires, partly due to the time of the year. Just seems like everywhere it is hot right now. And so if you've got air conditioning, take advantage of it. Pull up a chair, grab a cold beverage, and sit down and enjoy Yakima Valley and Walla Walla Game 2 tonight. 6:35 p.m. is our projected first pitch. We look to be right on time. The Sweets are being announced on the field as we speak. And then we'll get the national anthem underway, and we'll have first pitch after that. The North Division, we said a lot about the South. The North Division seems to be a little bit more decided. Wenatchee is 10-3 in the second half. They're 29-11 after winning the first half. They look to be the surefire winners for both halves. Sitting in second place in the second half is the Kelowna Falcons at 9-5, though. Falcons sitting tied for second place in the overall standings. They have more of a close race for who is going to be second place, third place, and then the bottom 4 are kind of shaking themselves out. But it's a much more competitive league than last year. Port Angeles is at 10 wins now, so everybody has double-digit wins. Wenatchee has a chance to be the first team to 30 wins tonight. They're 29-11. But other than that, it's been a very, very competitive season. Everybody can beat everybody. And we'll see what that translates to tonight. Yakima Valley took the first 2 of 3 meetings with Walla Walla up in Yakima, and then the first trip down here to Borleske Stadium, the Pippins were swept. And so now winning Game 1 last night here in Game 4 against these Sweets at Borleske. We'll see what Game 5 has in store for us tonight. We're going to break for the national anthem. Folks here getting to their feet and taking off their caps. So we are going to pause to honor our nation. And when we come back, we'll have first pitch between the Yakima Valley Pippins and the Walla Walla Sweets. Game 5 of 6 down here in Borleske Stadium. Game 8 of 9 on the season between the Sweets and the Pippins. Battle of the Basin continues to be one of the most fun rivalries in the West Coast League. Here's the nation's anthem. We'll be right back. It is time for baseball here in Walla Walla, Washington. The Pippins and the Sweets in Game 2 of a 3-game midweek series. Walla Walla on the field defensively as they will get ready to face Tyson Miller, Jay O'Neill, and Luis Garcia. The man slated to do it for the Sweets on the mound from UCLA will be Nico Bavaro from Stockton, California. He's got an 8.04 ERA in 4 games with Walla Walla, 3 of them being starts. A 2-2 record, 15 2/3 innings pitched. 13 strikeouts to 11 walks for Bavaro. He's given up 14 earned runs on 15 hits. Opponents are batting .242 against the southpaw from UCLA. The Sweets, the defense behind Bavaro, Troy Osborne in left field. You've got Sam Kane in center field and Ronan Schofield in right. Trevor T is at the hot corner. Gage Reeser is the captain of the infield. Gaines Hassan is at second base, and Peyton Knowles is at first. Ethan Buckley is doing the catching for Nico Bavaro. Walla Walla wearing their navy tops with white Sweets on the front in script, a red numeral on the front left chest, and then on the back of the jersey, a white numeral outlined in black. They're wearing white pants on the bottom and then red caps with the Walla Walla Sweet Lou head logo smack dab in the middle. The Pippins on the other side will be wearing their green tops with gray pants again, white Pippins in block across the chest. They have a bat logo with an apple hanging down on the left chest, and then white numerals on the back with gold accents. They'll be wearing their green caps when they take the field. Throw goes down to second. Tyson Miller strolls to the batter's box, and it is just about time for baseball here in Walla Walla, Washington. A very, very warm evening here in W Squared. Hopefully you're hydrating if you're in the area. Hopefully if you're at the ballpark potentially listening that you are getting a drink or two every once in a while, and I'll certainly be doing the same. Might have a few more breaks. Out of the windup, first pitch is fouled off over on the left side by Tyson Miller. The first pitch is at 6:34 p.m. here in Walla Walla, Washington. Very, very warm. Temperatures 99 degrees. At the first pitch, it is partly cloudy, although you couldn't tell it with the smoke. Out of the windup, a slider just a touch outside. It is 1 ball and 1 strike to Tyson Miller. Miller on the season batting .291 for Yakima Valley. 1-1 pitch out of the wind from Bavaro is flied over out towards left out of play. And so it's quickly 1-2 to Tyson. Pippin's leadoff man yesterday going 1 for 4 with an RBI single in the 7th inning. Fourth pitch of the ball game for Bavaro is a fastball cut on and missed by Miller. He is down on 4 pitches. First strikeout for Nico Bavaro. That'll bring up Jay O'Neill. So partly cloudy, not really helping with the heat. It is also smoky. The AQI just a little bit higher than yesterday, if I'm reading this properly. First pitch, the AQI sitting at 116 as Jay takes a first pitch fastball inside for ball one. If you're unfamiliar with the AQI number, anything 0 to 50 is usually healthy. 50 to 100 is unhealthy for certain groups. 1-0 upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. 100 to 150 is unhealthy for sensitive groups, and then 150 to 200 is nearing unhealthy for everybody. 200 plus, usually you won't play baseball. 2-0 slider upstairs, 3 balls and no strikes to Jay O'Neill. Jay on the season batting .228 for Yakima Valley. This is game number 31. Bavaro winds and fires, 3-0 fastball top of the zone for strike one. I did not get the AQI reading yesterday at the first pitch, but it was sitting in the 130s. Anything close to 175, you start thinking about postponing. 3-1, fastball high and tight. Jay O'Neill will draw a walk. Jay draws his 14th walk of the summer. That'll bring up Luis Garcia with a man aboard. The Pippins had their first 8 batters set down in order yesterday by Curtis Ellis. So already a better start offensively for Yakima Valley. That slow start didn't seem to hurt in the long run as the Pippins got extremely hot down the stretch. You'd love to see some insurance runs out there, though, for Dawson Barabalt, making only his second start of the summer, and I believe his first in league play. Jay chased back to first with a pickoff throw. He is back in plenty of time. Luis Garcia on an 11-game hitting streak. Longest such streak for a Pippin this summer. Another check over to first, Jay in standing with a lunge. Lewis, one of the hottest hitters in the West Coast League right now, his batting average is up to .326. First pitch to Garcia, fastball, outside part of the plate, swung on and missed, 0-1. Lewis usually gets out to hot starts, batting .356 in the first 3 innings, and then .395 7th inning or later. His middle innings is where his batting average dips a little bit, but it's .235. Same spot, different result. Lewis lays off. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. League average for the West Coast League is .262 in innings 4 through 6. Jay over at first. The 1-1 pitch to Garcia. Breaking ball caught the outer black. And so it's 1-2. Garcia been on a roll as of late. His hitting streak started on July 5th against the Bend Elks with a 3-hit performance. 1-2. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He would have multi-hit performances following that against the Ridgefield Raptors all 3 games. 1 in Walla Walla before the All-Star break. 2 against Portland at home before coming back here to Walla Walla. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jay takes off, and Bavaro has him picked off. Jay slides into second. He is safe. A very slow throw onto first for Bavaro, who probably should have fired it over a little bit sooner. Jay O'Neill steals second base despite the successful pickoff move by Bavaro. He's a lefty. He's staring right at first base. I don't know why he didn't sling it over there sooner. So still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Man in scoring position for Garcia. Bavaro on the third base side of the rubber sends a breaking ball down and in. The count will run full. Early break here for Yakima Valley, trying to plate the game's first run. They have not done that in any game down here at Borleske Stadium this summer. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The UCLA Southpaw facing off against Western Oklahoma State's finest. Payoff pitch. In tight, ball 4. Back-to-back walks issued by Nico Bavaro. Pippins will have him first and second with only 1 down. Parker Burt with a prime opportunity for Yakima Valley, batting .344, heading to Ball State when we get done with the season. The native of Mansfield, Texas, batting .344. Parker standing tall in that right-hand batter's box, now bounces on his knees just a little bit. Bavaro sends the first pitch in, a fastball that misses outside. 1-0 to Burt. Parker might not have had as many hits against the Portland Pickles as he wanted, only 2, but on those 2 hits, he had 5 RBI. Parker has a sense for the clutch. Big gap in right center field. The 1-0 pitch, breaking ball that stayed upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes, and now Corey Keir is kind of pacing impatiently around his dugout, the pitching coach for the Sweets. A couple of Walla Walla infielders trying to clap on Bavaro to a strike. It was a very quick game yesterday, a lot of 1, 2, 3 innings. 2-0, fastball just a touchdown. 3 balls and no strikes. If Parker could walk, you bring the bases loaded for Trey Godoy, who had an RBI single yesterday. Trey trying to pick up some momentum before he heads back to UCLA in the fall. He'd be facing his teammate. Would be a lefty-lefty matchup. 3 balls and no strikes. Parker taking all the way, and a free strike given to Bavaro. Right over the heart of the plate, 3-1. Last night, Parker 1 for 4 with a run scored. Had that leadoff double in the 7th inning that really got things going. Would eventually force Curtis Ellis out of the game. 3-1. Bavaro looking back to second. Here comes the pitch. On the ground, out towards short. Reeser up with it. The throw to second for 1. Hassan relays it onto first. A double play. 6-4-3. And the Pippins leave a man stranded at third. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left on. Half inning in the books. Yakima Valley 0. Walla Walla coming up. You're listening to Pippins Baseball. We'll be right back.
That's where my strong woman doing further prayer. You all do well. I'm hot too. I'm sweating. I can't phone like that. We should go now. Oh, look at that.
Bottom of the first inning here at Borleske Stadium. Dawson Barabalt out to throw for the Pippins. This is game number 4 for Dawson. This is start number 2. 9 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts, 6 walks, 8 hits and 6 earned runs. He has no record and a 5.59 ERA. Opponents hitting .216 against Barabalt. Defense for the Pippins, Trey Godoy in left, Luis Garcia in center, Tyson Miller in right. You've got Cole French over at third base. Brandon Stone at short, Jay O'Neill at second, Levi Sotomayor at first, and Diego Davis doing the catching for Dawson Barabalt. It'll be Peyton Knowles digging in first, then Trevor T and Gage Reeser here in the bottom of the first inning. First offering from Barabalt, fastball upstairs, 1 ball and no strikes. Peyton Knowles, committed to Troy, second season in the West Coast League. 1-0 pitch, roped down the first baseline, foul. It'll roll all the way down to the Pippins bullpen, where a couple of arms will have a new pearl. On the season, batting .301, Peyton Knowles. 2 seasons at Gonzaga and then 1 at Seattle U, and now heading to Troy. What a story Troy baseball is. 1-1, high and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. For Dawson Barabalt, his longest outing on the season was 4 innings. And then here in Walla Walla on the 12th of July, he went 2 innings, giving up 1 run on 1 hit. 2-1 pitch flown out towards center field. Garcia settling, walks over to it and makes the catch. 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning. That'll bring up Trevor T. T from Colorado Mesa. Last night going 2 for 2. He was also walked and hit by a pitch. One of the few perfect nights for anybody last night. The Sweets ended up only getting 4 hits the entire game. T had half of them. First offering from Barabalt, the righty, down and away, ball 1. Trevor T batting .284 for Walla Walla. This is game number 33 for him after playing in 46 contests with the Sweets last year. 1-0, a tapper back towards the hill. Barabalt has it on a hop, throws towards Levi. He will stay on the safety bag, and safe is the call by Kyle Sisk. Sotomayor applied a tag. Kyle Crustangel going to head out towards the play. Kyle Sisk, I think, is debating with himself whether or not it counts that Sotomayor went to the safety bag. The throw pulled Sotomayor off towards the foul territory side, and I think my understanding of the rule is the fielder can choose the safety bag, which means the runner then has to use the white bag. The umpires get together. Henry DeJesus, the home plate umpire, Kyle Sisk out in the field. I think this will get overturned. Henry DeJesus hopefully has a better understanding of the rule than his partner Kyle Sisk does. Levi made the stretch over on the green bag versus the white bag. So now they're going to, without making a call, call Kyle Crustangel back out towards the field. Kyle Sisk going to have the conversation with Pippins head coach. Sotomayor also did apply a tag right before T made his way to the bag. So if he's not out on the bag on the force play, then Sotomayor obviously got the out with T by throwing the tag on his chest. This looked to be a pretty cut and dry routine play. Krusty's still out there arguing for his fielder. Henry DeJesus, there was nobody on, so he wasn't looking anywhere else. He was helping out his partner. Don't know why this discussion would be taking as long as it is. Pretty cut and dry. Are you allowed to touch the safety bag to get the out? Yes or no? The ball beat him by a mile. No question about that. Krusty heading off the field, a little disappointed. Looks like the call will be safe. Levi is kind of laughing off the play out there. He says, what else am I supposed to do? Interesting start. I'm sure you could probably go back in the rule book and protest this if you wanted to, but that officially goes down as an error by Levi Sotomayor. What a way to start. Not a very good tone setter, if you ask me. So 1 on, 1 out. Gage Reeser in the batter's box, squaring to bunt. This will be up the third base line and foul. 0-1 the count. I don't know what to say, so I'm not going to say anymore. Other than our umpiring crew, Kyle Sisk, Henry DeJesus says that Trevor T is safe at first. Go ahead and sync up the video with me and figure it out for yourself. Barabalt looks over towards first base. 2.5-step lead for T. He is off. Reeser flies this one deep out towards left center field. Godoy going back on the track at the wall. Goodbye. So not only is the man at first base to make this a 2-run shot, Gage Reeser, the former Pippin, doing damage against his old club. And the Sweets have scored in the first inning of yet another game here at Borleske Stadium against the Yakima Valley Pippins. Probably should have only been a solo shot with 2 away, but it is what it is, and 2 runs are on the board for Walla Walla. Coach Crustangel having some words for Kyle Sisk over there at the A position. The conversation's still going on, and now I think Krusty's been given the hand before the official warning. He has every right to be frustrated. Again, that probably should have been a solo shot. First pitch breaking ball to Sam Kane, just misses, ball 1, down and away. Kane also a very capable long ball hitter. On the season for Walla Walla, Kane batting .289 as the 1-0 pitch skips in, 2 balls and no strikes. Kane playing in game number 37 with Walla Walla this summer. 2-0 from Barabalt, a wave and a miss on the top shelf, 2-1. Kane spent 2024 with the Edmonton Riverhawks when he batted .314 with 3 home runs. This season, he's got 7 of them at Borleske Stadium. 2-1, bounced out towards short. Stone on the 1 bounce, on to first. Levi's on the white bag this time, and there are 2 away, no question about it. Brings up Royce Hale, the designated hitter. Hale so far from Marysville, Washington, batting .297 with Walla Walla. .22 games with the Sweets for the lefty. First pitch from Barabalt. This got the front foot of Royce Hale. It was a breaking ball down and in. So the Sweets will have a man aboard. Troy Osborne playing left field today. Normally a catcher for the Sweets. But Osborne getting in the game today after sitting yesterday. Ethan Buckley is doing the catching. So Leo Rivera says, you know what? We'll just stick him in the outfield. First pitch fouls this off his body. It is 0-1. 2-0 Sweets here at the bottom of the first inning. If there's anybody out there that understands the safety bag rule better than me, please be my guest and help me figure out why that wasn't out number 2. 0-1. High and away, slider, 1 ball and 1 strike. Happening in the first inning as well. Just a completely different tone than last night, which was, by all accounts, a very good baseball game. 3-2 final score. You had the tying run on base for Walla Walla. 1-1, fastball blown by, swing and a miss by Osborne. It's 1-2. And ultimately, if you can limit the damage to 2 runs, the Pippins had 2 aboard in the first inning, so the offense certainly seems to be working a little bit quicker than last night. 1-2 pitch from Barabalt. Wave and a miss downstairs. The tag will be applied to finish the inning. And Dawson Barabalt, after giving up the 2-run home run, will exit with a 2-0 deficit. Second inning is next. Walla Walla leading here at Borleske Stadium.
Area. Very top. Underground on Walla Walla. On your mark, get set. And you're the first day today, so let's do it. And
Top of the second inning here at Borleske Stadium. Yakima Valley will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up against Nico Bavaro, who got a double play to help him out of the first inning. The Pippins left one on the base pads. Trey Godoy, Levi Sotomayor, and Brandon Stone are the 3 due up. Bavaro threw 20 pitches. Despite walking 2, did not give up a run. First pitch to Trey Godoy is high and tight, a fastball. Couple of UCLA boys battling it out, lefty-lefty matchup. Godoy wrapped up his freshman season, saw quite a bit of playing time down the stretch for Coach Savage and company. 1-0 out of play over on the left side behind us. 1-1, the ball bouncing around on the walkway in front of the press box. On the other side, Nico Bavaro, incoming freshman to UCLA. 1-1 out of the windup. A slider hung out towards the outer part of the plate. This will be popped up over on the left side. T will back up onto the grass and make the catch for out number 1. Third baseman squeezes it. Brings up Levi Sotomayor. Pippins today do have 2 bench players instead of just the 1, if you don't count the pitching staff. Sotomayor taking strike 1, a slider over the heart of the plate. It appears my drink of water during the break went down a little too quick. Starting to get the hiccups. Another slider. This one misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sotomayor on the season for Yakima Valley, batting .316. This is game number 22 if you include the non-leagues. 1-1 drilled out towards left center field. Kane will drift back, though. He will make the catch. He was playing back, and he has it for out number 2. Quickly 2 down. Here's Brandon Stone, who had 3 Pippins hits in his first 3 at-bats last night. He had the only 2 hits of the game for Yakima Valley up until the 7th inning. His RBI single in the 7th was the biggest. It put the Pippins in front. First pitch fastball at the knees, strike 1. The ultimate deciding run, though, would be brought in by Tyson Miller. RBI single that brought home Diego Davis. That was the 3rd run. 0-1 breaking ball downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pippins scoring 3 times in the 7th. That's what won them the game. 2 down here, 2-0 ball game, top of the 2nd. The 1-1 pitch to Stone is cut on and missed. It is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nico Bavaro had a strikeout to start his outing against Tyson Miller in the first inning. He walked 2, then got a double play. A couple of balls in the air has him nearly out of the 2nd inning. Smoky day here in Walla Walla, Washington. The 1-2 pitch is a rope through the 5-6 hole. Gage Reeser stumbling there, but cannot get leather on it. And Brandon Stone, a Walla Walla Sweets killer right now. 4 hits in the series after a 3-hit night last night. He starts his day 1 for 1.
Number 20.
If Stone can emerge as a consistent bat for Yakima Valley down the stretch, the local kid going to play a huge part in trying to get this team to the postseason. Yakima Valley hoping that Springfield can take care of Portland tonight as the first pitch is down and in to Diego Davis. 1 ball and no strikes. If Portland can lose and Yakima Valley can win, then both teams would be 20-21 with 3 games left to play at the end of the year. Foul back off the end of the bat of Davis. It's 1-1. Pippins also have 6 opportunities against the Corvallis Knights starting this Friday. The Knights will be in Yakima Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then after the Pippins wrap up their final 3 home games against the Springfield Drifters, Yakima Valley will head down to Corvallis and play 3 games at Borleske Stadium. Check to first, back in time, is Brandon Stone. He didn't quite get in cleanly. Good move by Bavaro, the left-hander. Pippins hoping the Elks can help take care of the Knights tonight. Breaking ball slipped out of the hand of Bavaro upstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. Corvallis won last night, helping gain a game on the Portland Pickles. Very close race in the South. 2-1, slider hard of the plate, 2-2. Diego Davis was not looking for that breaking pitch. Bat stayed on the shoulder. We'll see what Bavaro goes with here. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2-0 game. Top of the second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man at first. The pitch on the way from Bavaro. Fastball outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now Brandon Stone will get a head start. Stone, decent wheels over at first. Bavaro coming set at the letters. Looking at first. Here's the 3-2. It is a ball 4 downstairs. Was waiting to see what Henry DeJesus was popping up out of the crouch for. He does not make any signal. And so the breaking ball drops too far downstairs. 2 aboard, and Cole French making his debut for the Yakima Valley Pippins. French from North Thurston High School in Olympia, Washington. 6'1", 180. Can play the middle infield. He's playing third base today. Committed to play at Yakima Valley College. First offering, a fastball down in the dirt. Buckley can't block it, and now 2 are in scoring position for Cole French. Wild pitch puts Stone at third and Davis at second. What a huge first at-bat here for Cole French. Cole spells his first name with a K, K-O-L-E. French spelled just like the nationality. 1 ball and no strikes. A look back to second for Bavaro. The pitch, breaking ball in tight. 2 balls and no strikes. That slider for Bavaro has very good horizontal movement. It's not as loose of a slider as we've seen in the West Coast League, but it's not a curveball. It definitely moves from left to right, not up and down. 2-0 pitch. Fastball brushes Cole off the plate. The count runs to 3-0. First base is open. Tyson Miller, the top of the order, looming on deck. These 2 base runners for Yakima Valley coming with 2 outs. Bavaro brings home the 3-0. French takes an uncompetitive ball 4 outside, and the bags are loaded for Yakima Valley with 2 away. That's a 4th walk issued by Nico Bavaro. Gage Reeser going to go out to the hill and have a chat with Bavaro. Sweet's going to burn one of their defensive meetings. Back to the top of the Yakima Valley order, Tyson Miller. Pippins with a base runner everywhere. Tyson trying to do what he did in the 7th inning yesterday and come up with a clutch RBI hit. Lefty-lefty matchup, the first pitch, a breaking ball, hard of the plate. Tyson had started to turn away from it, but then it took a hard right turn right over the home plate area. 0-1. That's what I was talking about, that horizontal movement for Bavaro. 0-1 pitch. Tyson wave and a miss late on the fastball. Quickly 0-2. Tyson was swinging pretty hard, trying to drive this all the way to the wall. Miller going to have to put on a 2-strike approach here. Has room down the left field line and also in the left center field gap. He could also sneak something up the middle. Reeser and Hassan playing closer to the corner bags. 0-2 pitch from Bavaro. Fastball down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good eye by Tyson Miller. Tyson loves working the counts deep against opposing pitching. He did that quite a few times against the Portland Pickles. Earned a couple of walks that way. 1-2 from Bavaro. Slider cut on and missed. Tyson strikes out for the second time today, and the Pippins leave the bases loaded. No runs, 1 hit, no error, 3 men left on. After an inning and a half of play, Walla Walla leads it 2-0 as we head to the bottom of the second inning here at Borleske Stadium.
Question one. According to both seasons, right? We rows or the representing. We feel like first with one because that the coach actually beat their winner. What was a nicely white sauce with white sauce perspective because it finished from the Hall of Fame. Elite performance in his strong, Steve Gambly was the non-rostered players. Who's going Steve Gambly is your winner? Alright, it's open to three. Who is here to go on terms as the commissioner of MLB? Los Angeles for A. Kennesaw Mountain Landing, Bud Fuel. For three for Bud Fuel?
Bottom third of the Walla Walla order due up here in the bottom of the second inning. It'll be Ethan Buckley, Gaines Hassin, and Ronan Schofield due up against these Yakima Valley Pippins. Dawson Barabalt giving up 2 runs on 1 hit in the first inning. Probably could have been a shorter inning, but Trevor T reached on a supposed error by Levi Sotomayor. He stepped on the green bag on a errant throw. He's having a conversation with Kyle Sisk actually right now as I'm talking about it, trying to figure out if what he did was wrong or if what Kyle Sisk called was wrong. Quite the interesting tone setter to this game as the first pitch to Ethan Buckley. Did he go? Yes, he did. Kyle Sisk punches a strike on Ethan Buckley. The pitch was way inside, almost clipped his belt. But Buckley couldn't keep the bat from going around. 0-1 to the former Pippin catcher who spent all of last year with Yakima Valley, one of 2 players who stayed with the team the entire season. 0-1, filthy slider on the outer upper black. It's 0-2. He and Dylan Anderson were the only 2 that were there from day 1 to day 60-something. 0-2 pitch from Barabalt. Slider downstairs, trying to get Buckley to chase. It's 1-2. Buckley from Cape Town, South Africa, the first Division I baseball player from South Africa after he spent a year with Gonzaga and then moved to Central Washington after 2 years at Lynn Benton Community College. 1-2 upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so Buckley, with 1 more year of eligibility, looking for somewhere new to play due to some coaching changes at CWU up in Ellensburg. Did not go far from Yakima. Spent his school year up in Ellensburg. 2-2 on the ground through the 5-6 hole, and Ethan Buckley will get himself a hit. That is the second hit for Walla Walla tonight. It appears we're in for a little bit more offensive of a game. Early signs, Yakima Valley with 1 hit, but have had 5 base runners, actually 6 base runners. Of course, the Sweets have already scored 2 runs on a 2-run home run by Gage Reeser, another former Pippin. Here's Gaines Hassan from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, all the way out here in Walla Walla, Washington, waving a miss on an inside fastball. 0-1. Hassan batting 190 for Walla Walla, below the Mendoza line. 16 hits and 84 at-bats. This is game number 26 for Hassan. 0-1, another wave and a miss. Hassan cannot catch up to Barabalt right now. 27 strikeouts for Gaines Hassan. 6 walks. He's scored 10 times. No balls and 2 strikes. Buckley the catcher over at first. Pitch on the way from Barabalt upstairs. Snap throw down to first, and back in plenty of time is Ethan Buckley. Not a bad idea from Diego Davis, trying to catch Buckley leaning the wrong way. Still a favorable count here for Barabalt. Takes a look over towards Buckley, the 1-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. No, it is fouled. Davis could not quite hold on to the ball. Henry DeJesus is kind of masking the plate for me right now with the right-handed batter up. I couldn't quite see it until the ball dropped out of Diego Davis's glove. You could see it rolling around on the ground. Count still 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Those are tough because all you see is the batter's reaction, really. They know they probably had a pitch to hit, but in this case, you could finally see the ball rolling around after the play was over. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Buckley fakes a chance over towards second. Now he'll have to go. Here's a high chop over to third. The throw is high and off the end of the glove of Sotomayor. Moving up to third will be Ethan Buckley. Likely the second error of the night for Yakima Valley. The first one charged to Cole French. Knew he had to hurry. This ball was chopped high off the apron. By the time it got down into the glove of French, he didn't have time to waste. He rushed the throw. Levi was in between. Should he hop to get the ball or should he try to stay on the bag? Eventually, he just reached out, tried to stab the ball, and it went right off the end of his mitt. Still waiting for the official scoring to come in. Has to be an error because Buckley moves up an extra base. Ronan Schofield takes a first pitch down and in, ball 1. So Dawson Barabalt not getting the help defensively like Eric Anthony did last night. Pippins only committed 1 error. They now are up to 69 errors on the season. 1-0 upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. So it is an E5. Buckley advancing to third on the play. Now runners at the corners with nobody out. Ronan Schofield to check over to first and back in time. No, it's a balk. Kyle Sisk pointing the runners up 90 feet. Ethan Buckley will score. It's 3-0 Walla Walla. And now Coach Crustangel, who's already not very pleased with Kyle Sisk, heading out to have a chat with the field umpire. Discussion fairly short, but it's 3-0 Sweets. Gaines Hassan is now at second base. There's no pitch, so it's 2 balls and no strikes. Not an ideal start. 3-0 Sweets. 2-0 to Ronan Schofield. Fly ball out towards right. Miller drifting over towards his right. Runner tagging at second. The catch is made. Here comes the throw from Tyson. It will go all the way through, but it will be late. Ronan Schofield gets a job done flying out to right field. Does not go down as a sacrifice. But Gaines Hassan moves up 90 feet and is ready to score from third. Top of the order up for Walla Walla. Peyton Knowles flew out to center field to start the game. Barring a odd double play, then Trevor T will be up to hit. It's kind of where this thing started to unravel. First pitch down and in to Peyton Knowles. Sweets retaliating after losing game 1 at their home ballpark last night. They are 17-5 here at Borleske Stadium. 1-0, down and in, 2 balls and no strikes. The Pippins are one of only 5 losses the Sweets have taken here. One of the other ones was to the Marion Berries in a record-setting performance where the 2 teams combined for, I believe it was 43 runs, which is the most by any 2 teams together in the West Coast League. 2-0, slider inside, the count 3 balls and no strikes. Pippins infield playing in right now, trying to cut down the run at home. Barabalt in danger of walking his first. He has plunked one, giving up 2 hits and 2 errors behind him. This is flown out towards right field. Should be deep enough to get the job done. Miller squares. Miller coming in. Momentum going forward. Sotomayor cuts it off. And scoring from third is Gaines Hassan. Sacrifice fly for Peyton Knowles. 2 down, but it's 4-0 Walla Walla Sweets. Some words coming from Yakima Valley's dugout. Henry DeJesus asking or having a conversation with them. Man, I have no idea what's going on with the umpires tonight. I'll just be flat out honest with our listenership. So it's a sacrifice fly for Peyton Knowles. 2 down, and the bases are empty here against Trevor T. First pitch upstairs for ball 1. The reason I say Trevor T. was the catalyst of everything that's happened is it was a very simple ground out back to the pitcher's mound. 1-0, breaking ball upstairs, 2-0. And then the throw by Barabalt pulled Levi across from the white pillow to the green pillow. There's a safety bag over at first. After about 3 seconds of deliberation, Kyle Sisk, the field umpire, signaled safe, even though the ball had beat Sotomayor, or the runner T, by a long shot. 3 balls, no strikes, the pitch downstairs. Levi had also applied a tag beforehand. And so, after a brief discussion, it was ruled that the runner was safe, and then a couple pitches later, Gage Reeser hit a 2-run home run. 3-0, Barabalt will walk Trevor T as he misses outside, ball 4. Brings up Gage Reeser, 2-run bomb in the first inning. Walla Walla has doubled their lead since then. 4-0. Ethan Salscheider will head out to the hill to have a chat with his starting pitcher. Around the West Coast League tonight, everybody in game 2 of their 3-game series. Bottom of the 3rd inning in Edmonton, the Kamloops North Paws lead at 9-0. Bottom of the 1st inning in Corvallis. Wow, what an offensive start. Ben leads at 6-3. Bottom of the 3rd inning in Wenatchee, Port Angeles trailing 1-0 to the Apple Sox. Bottom 2 in Nanaimo, Victoria leads at 7-0. Bottom 3 in Bellingham, no score between the Falcons and the Bells. Bottom 1 in Ridgefield, no score between the Berries and the Raptors. And game just underway down in Portland, Springfield at Walker Stadium taking on the Pickles. Pippins would love to see Springfield win again, but you also have to realize that Springfield only 3 games behind Yakima Valley in the overall standings. The Pippins are going to have to continue to win. They can't just sit back and let other teams lose. First pitch to Reeser on the ground over to third, backhanded by French. He'll throw all the way across the diamond to first, and he will record out number 3. Gage Reeser unable to get his second hit. We go to the 3rd inning. Walla Walla scores 2 more runs on only 1 hit. There was 1 error, and there was 1 man left on base. 3rd inning's next, 4-0 Sweets.
We would also like to welcome all families and players in town for the State Conference Tournament. We welcome you and thank you for coming. For information on how to have the best of that this summer, visit Walla or in location.
Top of the third inning here at Borleske Stadium. It's gotten a little quiet here as I think some of the fans and staff members alike here at Borleske Stadium trying to catch some of the Jelly Roll concert that's happening across the highway from us over by the Veterans Memorial Golf Course. It's Jay O'Neill, Luis Garcia, and Parker Burt due up here in the top of the third. Very faintly, I can hear some subwoofers. So we'll see if the wind carries any of the sound over. First pitch high and tight to O'Neill, but it's fouled off his bat. He was checking his swing. So the count is 0-1. Kind of an interesting venue for Jelly Roll to be in here in Walla Walla, Washington. He was in Montana last night. 0-1 slider outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Still Bavaro out on the hill. I know he came to a little bit closer to my hometown, North Platte, Nebraska, for Nebraska Land Days a couple of years ago. That was right as he was starting to get big. O'Neill grounds one over the first base bag. This is a fair ball. Race to the first base bag and safe. Jay O'Neill legs out an infield single. Peyton Knowles backhanded but could not recover in time. Leadoff man aboard here in the third inning. Second hit of the night for Yakima Valley. That brings up Luis Garcia with a man on base. Garcia looking to extend that 11-game hit streak that he started against the Bend Elks. First pitch breaking ball. Luis tried to wait on it, but he waited a bit too long. 0-1. Bavaro about to throw his 49th pitch. He has not given up a run yet. That's hard to believe. Fastball downstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. It's pretty hard to give up 4 to 5 base runners in the first 2 innings and not allow any runs to come across. Throw to first. They have Jay picked off. He's going to get in a rundown. They go to Reeser. Now back to the covering pitcher, Bavaro. Bavaro chasing him down to second. Jay tries to spin out of the way, but out on the pads is Jay O'Neill. Both Panch and Krusty arguing that that was a balk. It was a pretty deceptive move by Bavaro. It looked like he started to come to the plate. You cannot come to the plate if you're a lefty, if you're going to pick off over to first. You have to stay straight up and then move towards the bag. So Jay O'Neill is picked off. And you can score the pickoff 1-3-6-1. And then the tag was applied there out at second base by, I believe it was the second baseman, Hassan. 2 balls and a strike now to Garcia. Bag's empty. Bavaro back to the windup. 2-1, fouled away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And like we've had it the last couple of nights in Walla Walla, the official scoring says pitcher to first base to second base, and that's not how it went down at all. Hopefully someone can get that corrected. 2-2, Garcia lifts it over towards very shallow right into foul territory. Knowles will make the catch standing in foul territory, and there are 2 away. So Parker Burt will hit with nobody out instead of at least 1 down and a man on. Burt grounded into a 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning. Well, at least that can't happen. Fly ball out of play over on the right side for strike 1. I don't know if it's the smoke in the air that's making everybody's eyes and minds a little bit loopy, but this is just a completely different vibe tonight for this ball game. Last night was a very competitive game, a very straightforward game, didn't have anything weird happen, and tonight seems like you can scratch off a bingo card as a breaking ball, this time more up and down, drops into Parker Burt. Maybe Bavaro experimenting with a curveball now that he's got a 4-0 lead. He takes a deep breath. The 0-2 pitch delivered to Parker. Fastball inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Buckley nods his approval and says he liked that spot. Burt with the bat on his shoulder now picks it up. 1-2 pitch from Bavaro. Another fastball inside. Parker fouls this one away. Corey Keir, the pitching coach, retrieves it over by the third base dugout. Trey Godoy waiting on deck. Right-handed action up for Yakima Valley in the bullpen. 1-2 pitch. Fastball, just a touchdown. Bavaro was walking off the hill. He'll have to make his way back towards the top. All 3 Walla Walla coaches looked up to the press box because they know they have TrackMan over in the main booth. 2-2, pitch skips in. That hit Parker on the front foot. He's going to trot down to first. Now, Henry DeJesus relaying the count. He's going to ask the coaching staff to come out and talk about what the count was. It looked like that hit Parker. Either way, he's at first. Men in black better get their act together, otherwise they're going to lose support from both dugouts. I don't even know what to write down in my book. Hasn't registered yet as to whether that was ball 4 or that was a hit by pitch. Corey Keir trying to look up and figure out what it was. The official book says it's a hit by pitch. I'll agree with them on this. First pitch to Trey Godoy, high and tight, ball 1. That was only going to be ball 3, but the book here says hit by pitch. I think the umpires are hearing it from both dugouts. 1-0 over on the left side into foul territory up against the fence. Trevor T. He will make a catch diving into the camera well. And that robs Yakima Valley of new life. And Trey Godoy will foul out over on the left side. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's getting pretty interesting here at Borleske Stadium. 4-0 Walla Walla. Stay tuned.
The winner is $25 Charlie. The field sisters and Jenny Howley, the first on the bar, the 12th. Now we've already got the middle. The Jenny. Listen now. Jenny has a little helper. And out for winner. Congratulations. You're going home with a $25 gift card. What do you think?
Pippins victory is the proud sponsor of the Walla Walla Sweep. Found down at their storefront located on Isaac Avenue in the state of Pittsburgh.
Pitcher.
Looking for the Pippins.
New pitcher.
Western College number 33. Carl Moland Kovac.
I thought that's what it was. We only had this grade, but we only had that one.
Waiting on a 4-3. Building number 21.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Borleske Stadium. New pitcher into the game for Yakima Valley. This is Carl Moland Kovash. His first pitch is a breaking ball that catches the outer part of the plate to Sam Kane for strike 1. Carl pitching on what is essentially his home mound. Whitman College plays here at Borleske Stadium. The 0-1, high and tight. This brushes back Sam Kane. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carl in the season for Yakima Valley, 10 games, 15 innings, 13 strikeouts, 14 walks, a 4.20 ERA. Opponents hitting 196 against Molen Kovash. 1-1, slider nubbed off the end of the bat, but it will go foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So the Pippins the first to their bullpen. Dawson Barabalt throws 39 pitches, but gives up 4 runs, 2 of them earned. 1-2, lifted down the line, but foul by Sam Kane. So the count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7:30 here in Walla Walla. We're about 1 hour into the game. Thank goodness we're not 3 hours into the game yet. Rope down the left field side. Godoy sliding. He will make the grab before the ball hits the grass. Trey was played in just the right spot. He went down to a knee and made the catch. 1 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. Royce Hale was hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. Hale, the designated hitter today. Carl's got 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. He will potentially have it here as O'Neill fields it up the middle. Backhand style, stretched by Levi. 2 down. Good play by Jay. Using his ranging abilities from the outfield here on the infield. Quickly 2 away, and Troy Osborne, the left fielder, struck out swinging back in the 1st inning. As the night slowly starts to settle in, you can kind of tell the smoke in the air is making things feel a little darker. First pitch, wave and a miss on a slider. Troy Osborne down in the count. If you have the audio synced up with the video from Walla Walla, you can feel just how much darker it is for being 7:30. The lights are on already. Down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's helping a little bit, but you look off into the tree line beyond center field, and there's just haze, smoke, and you can't see half of the trees. 1-1, fastball caught the inner black. Osborne shakes his head. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pippin's trying to work a quick 3rd inning and send us to the middle frames. Yakima Valley's had a base runner in every inning, so has Walla Walla. 1-2. Carl misses just a touch outside. He yanked a fastball into the left-hand batter's box. Two balls and 2 strikes. Ethan Buckley waiting on deck. Pippin's trying to throw the first 1-2-3 inning of the night. Carl brings it. Here's the 2-2. It's down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Temperatures at the start of the game were 99 degrees. We haven't dropped by much, and the flag in center field is hanging limp. 3-2 pitch from Molen Kovash on the ground out towards short. It'll be a backhand by Stone. Quick relay, catcher running, and Levi stretches to complete the play. Yakima Valley and Carl Molen Kovash throw a 1-2-3 bottom of the 3rd inning. Top of the 4th is next here at Borleske Stadium. 4-0 Walla Walla. This is Pippins Baseball.
Pretty picked up enough today by visiting their website at 360. Still
So what's the tip?
It's that thing back down and put it on the wall. Wanna see the chest blues that you let me go.
Top of the fourth inning here in Walla Walla, Washington. You're listening to Pippins Baseball. My name's Harmon Johnsen. We're just about an hour and 2 minutes into the contest. It is still Nico Bavaro out on the hill for the Walla Walla Sweets, wearing their navy blue tops and white pants. And the first pitch to Sotomayor is a hanging breaking ball that is sent down the right field line, but foul out of play. 0-1. Levi today, a fly out to center field. So he is 0 for 1. Yakima Valley wearing their green tops with gray pants, white numerals. Green hats in the field, Walla Walla wearing red. 4-0 Sweets as we enter the middle innings. It's been a very different game than yesterday as the 0-1 misses upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. It was a 3-2 ball game yesterday, very tight, very close. It was a great played game defensively, only 1 error between the two teams. 1-1, fastball, sent the other way. This is down the left field line. This might drop, but it is foul. Had the right kind of arc on the ball, did Levi Sotomayor. Going the other way down the line, but he could not keep it fair. So the count now 1-2, and Levi will make his way back to the batter's box. Tonight, there's already been 2 errors by Yakima Valley. The Pippins have left 5 on base. The Sweets have only left 2 on base, but they've hit a 2-run home run following an error that should have been out number 2 over at first base. The count's been mixed up a couple of times tonight, and overall, I'm just going to attribute all the grogginess for everybody involved to the smoke in the air. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to Sotomayor. Fastball called strike 3 on the outer black. Levi tells Henry DeJesus that wasn't a strike. He's shaking his head on the way back to the dugout. 1 away here in the top of the 4th. It was a close pitch, probably one that your coach, when you're growing up in Little League, would tell you, don't let the umpire make the decision for you, but Sotomayor knows the strike zone pretty well. And if he says it's not a strike, he's usually right. Brandon Stone swinging first pitch and fouling out of play off on the right, 0-1. Levi, one of the more veteran players on this roster, going back to the University of Nevada for his final couple of years after spending a little while at the University of the Pacific. Now you've got the complete opposite here with Brandon Stone, who sends a pop-up over towards the Pippins first base dugout and out of play. It's 0-2. Stone getting ready for his freshman season at Washington State, where he will likely be a primary pitcher, but also has skills on the infield. He's playing shortstop. He's played second base for Yakima Valley, and so far in the series, the stick has been really good. He's 4 for 5 with 4 singles and an RBI. 0-2 pitch to Stone. Fastball above the letters. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pippins playing game number 14 of the second half, game number 41 overall. 1-2 breaking ball below the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's a 54-game season. Running out of games as we continue to go through day by day. 5 series remain after tonight as the 2-2 is lifted out to very shallow center field. Kane drifting in. He will make the catch. 2 down here in the top of the 4th inning. Yakima Valley will host Corvallis starting on Friday, then have an off day at home. I guess there's only 4 series left. My math was wrong. This is the 5th of 5 remaining. Corvallis at home, off day Monday. That's the last off day of the season. And then Springfield Tuesday through Thursday. Down in Corvallis Friday to Sunday. First pitch, a tapper high out towards third. T waits back on it. Gathers, throws in one fell swoop. Knowles off the bag, but a tag applied to Davis as he runs by. And that retires the side. A 1-2-3 inning for Nico Bavaro, who has seemingly settled into this contest. Walla Walla leads it 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth here in Borleske Stadium.
First one was top two. So now you have right. That. Oh. On March, round three. Sorry, try to steal for Raptor on March back down. And right, got one that is
Welcome express the official host hotel of the women's. Check out our award-winning reward program at HRExpress.com.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at Borleske Stadium. Diego Davis a little late getting out to the hill, so Carl only throws 4 warm-up pitches. He was the last out, and so he had to get his gear on. Parker Burt, the designated hitter, did not go out and warm up Carl, and Jack Upton is down in the Yakima Valley bullpen, who will be ready to help warm somebody up if needed. Ethan Buckley leads off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Buckley had a single back in the second inning and scored on a balk. Carl worked a 1-2-3 frame in the third, trying to do the same here in the fourth. 4-0 game. First pitch from Molin Kovash, a big sweeping breaking ball for strike one to Ethan Buckley. Certainly not out of this game. Still 5 innings left to play. 4-0 the score. 0-1, fastball upstairs, went all the way to the backstop netting. Davis could not get leather on it. 1 ball and 1 strike. Might take Carl a couple more pitches here against Buckley to get fully warm. Coming set at the letters, the 1-1 pitch. Another sweeping breaking ball. This is downstairs, though. 2 balls and 1 strike. Buckley, Hassan, Schofield. 3 of the lower batting average Walla Walla Sweets. 2-1. High breaking ball. 3 balls and a strike. A giant wasp is flying around my booth right now. There's a small nest over on the right-hand corner. Hopefully that doesn't affect. 3-1. Pitch misses inside. Ball 4. That wasp trying to get out of the extreme heat. Still about 98 degrees despite the smoke and the partial cloud cover. We'll have to let Cody, the general manager here at Walla Walla, know that there's a little bit of a nest building outside the booth. I don't think he wants to have the last couple of visiting broadcasters this season get stung. Don't see him anymore. Hopefully he got back out to go watch the game. First pitch to Gaines Hassan is blocked out towards the mound by Diego Davis. That will allow Buckley to move up to second. It's a wild pitch by Carl Mullen Kovash. Davis kept it in front, but it was too far in front. 1 ball and no strikes. Carl getting ready for his 4th season at Whitman College. Now he steps off and uses a disengagement. He's pitched a career 36 innings here at Borleske Stadium for the Blues. 45 strikeouts to 30 walks. Man at third. This bounces right into the awaiting arms of French. The low throw is scooped out. That is out number 1. We might have just lost the connection, but we should have it back now, at least on the YouTube. So if you experienced a little blip, hopefully you're back. I'm plugged right into the internet, so there shouldn't be any reason that we should have any of those outages, but it does happen. Man still at second base. Here's Ronan Schofield. First pitch by Carl. Breaking ball, backdoor, strike 1. Schofield, the lefty, flew out to right field back in the 2nd inning. That advanced his lead runner Gaines Hassan on to third. 0-1. Carl tries to backdoor again, but misses down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. The next batter, Peyton Knowles, would hit a sacrifice fly that would make this game 4-0. That's the last score that we've had. Carl looking back to second. The 1-1 pitch spiked in the dirt. Davis had no shot. This bounces over towards the Pippins dugout. Big turnaround third for Buckley, but he will stay put. Time going to be called here. They wonder if this ball maybe bounced into the dugout area. No, this got a piece of Henry DeJesus. He's got his mask off. He's having a conversation with Kyle Sisk, his field umpire. Looks like this got him in the right arm, maybe not on the chest protector. He's shaking out the right arm. Training staff delivers some water out towards both umpires. They're both going to take a quick drink. 98-degree day. Training staff now looking at the right arm of Henry DeJesus. Ronan Schofield standing in. Henry shaking off the right arm again. Taps Diego Davis on the back. Not really much Diego could do. He tried to protect the umpire best he could, but it rocketed right up of his protective gear and into the right arm of Henry DeJesus. Man at third. Infield comes in. 2 balls and 1 strike to count. Carl sends it home. Backdoor breaking ball. Strike 2. Carl's had the slider working very well to start his outing. Trying to pick up strikeout number 1 on the night. 2-2 pitch. On the ground, out towards Jay. Stabs it on a backhand, and with the infield in, Buckley will stay put. The throw to first is complete. 2 down here in the 4th. Good play by O'Neill. This ball was extremely hard hit off the bat of Ronan Schofield. The strategy for the Pippins pays off. 2 down, man at third. Peyton Knowles hitting for a 3rd time. This is the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch, outside, 1 ball and no strikes to Knowles. He's got 2 flyouts. One of them plated a run. It was the sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning. Buckley at third. Carl looking at him. 1-0. Breaking ball. This cuts across the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Knowles last night 0 for 4 with a couple of flyouts, a pop out, and a ground out. 1-1 from Mullen Kovash. Backdoor breaking ball popped up over on the left side. French running towards the line onto the track. He will make the catch right in front of the Sweets dugout. The Pippins get out of the inning despite Ethan Buckley standing at third. No runs on no hits, no errors, one left on. To the fifth we go, 4-0 Sweets here at Borleske Stadium. This is Pippins Baseball. Top of the fifth inning here at Borleske Stadium. The Sweets lead it 4-0. Yakima Valley took game one last night 3-2. New pitcher into the game for the Walla Walla Sweets, Carson Waples, a right-hander from MSU Billings, into the game. His second appearance for the Sweets. First pitch, Cole French flies to center field. Backing up 2 steps is Kane. 1 pitch and 1 out for Cole French. Back to the top of the order for Yakima Valley for the third time. French's one outing on the season was against the Corvallis Knights on the 17th of July. 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 1 strikeout and no walks. So Waples trying to lower that 9 ERA. He does so with that out. Moves it a little bit closer to 6. First pitch, Hineaway to Tyson Miller, who has struck out twice today, both of them swinging. This game has calmed down just a little bit after the excitement of the first 2 innings. As the 1-0, breaking ball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. So Nico Bavaro goes 4 innings, giving up 2 hits, no runs on 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. He also threw 69 pitches. 2-0, Tyson fouls this at the plate, was just a touch early. So it's 2 balls and a strike. Still extremely warm here at Borleske Stadium. We started the game at 99 degrees. It is 93, but clear. Line drive out of play over on the left side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That clear is very misleading. It is very much smoky. You look out towards the field, you feel like there's something in your way. 2-2, Tyson out of play again. Count remains the same. You look off into the distance, some of the trees, a little bit obscured, almost like a morning fog if you were closer to the coast. Everything very gray under the lights here at Borleske Stadium. 2-2 pitch outside. The count running full to Tyson Miller with 1 away. 93 degrees, but not much wind to speak of. The giant flag in center field laying limp. Payoff pitch from Carson Waples. Sent down the left field line. This is in play, and this will be caught by Osborne. A big sarcastic cheer from his dugout as the usual catcher puts it away for out number 2. Probably one of those that Leo Rivera walked up to Osborne today and said, I want to put your stick in the lineup, but I want Ethan Buckley to catch. Where can you play? And he probably said, if you stick me anywhere, I'll play the position. So Leo Rivera stuck him in the outfield. Wave and a miss. First pitch to Jay O'Neill's, a changeup downstairs. Osborne's been getting quite a bit of extra instruction from Brandon Cabrera, the hitting coach, kind of directing him where to play against what hitters. 0-1 on the ground over towards second. Hassan into the grass, kicks it around, and he will not have a play. Jay is safe at first for the third time tonight. This will be an E4. And with 2 down, Yakima Valley has a man aboard. 62nd error committed by the Swedes. They might be the leading team in the South, but not in that category. Here's Luis Garcia, 0 for 1 with a walk as he ropes one on a line caught by Reeser at short. 1 pitch to get the first out, 1 pitch to get the third out, and a couple of longer at-bats in between. Halfway home here at Borleske Stadium, the Pippins get no runs on no hits, 1 error, and leave 1 man on in the top of the 5th. 4-0 Walla Walla as we head to the bottom half of the 5th inning. This is Pippins baseball from Borleske Stadium.
5 or 9 for the 1 over. 7 or 8 pass. Here's out there for pass charges for vice president. Number 12. We have a control number 1. Here we go. Oh, it's not a while. It's hands. Different for no go. All right, and he's got a no pass 5. Sorry, Tony. I'm very good. 69.
Bottom half of the 5th inning here at Borleske Stadium. Yakima Valley trails 4-0 to the Walla Walla Sweets. 2, 3, and 4 due up here for Leo Rivera's squad. Trevor T, Gage Reeser, and Sam Kane facing Carl Mullen Kovash. Pippins no runs yet. Of course, they didn't have any runs until the 7th inning last night. They scored 3 in the inning and ended up winning 3-2 as the first pitch from Carl misses for ball 1. Couldn't have missed by much. Carl had a nice breaking ball, but Henry DeJesus says ball 1. Count favors the batter. 1-0, breaking ball stung out towards Jay. On 1 hop, O'Neill will send it on to first. 2 pitches, 1 out here in the 5th. Trevor T now 0 for 2 today. O'Neill's been a busy man at second base tonight. Hopefully that's good news for him that he's getting quite a bit of action and can therefore continue to adjust to the infield after playing outfield most of the season. Gage Reeser 1 for 2 today with a 2-run home run and a ground out to third base. First pitch, taking a breaking ball right over the heart of the plate, 0-1. Reeser committed to play at Washington State. He committed towards the middle or end of last summer, but went back to Yakima Valley College for his second season. Breaking ball down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike, kind of similar to what Nick Velasquez, who was with the Pippins up until just recently, will be doing with USC. He's headed back to Citrus for 1 more year, and then will join the Trojans next baseball season. Down the line foul for Gage Reeser. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Carl still looking for that first strikeout. Pitching in his 3rd inning of relief of Dawson Barabalt, who went 2 innings, giving up 4 runs on 2 hits. Carl has the pitch he wants. He comes set with the glove separated from the body. The 1-2 pitch, a breaking ball. Reeser got just enough to stay alive. Right-handed action warming for Yakima Valley. This looks to be Cameron Sheriff's, wearing a different number than usual. 1-2, breaking ball lifted out towards left field. This will stay in the yard. Godoy circling right on the line. He makes the catch. 2 away. In between innings, I've been briefly chatting with the official scorers who are sitting next to me. Nothing about any of the way things have been scored, just general baseball conversations. So I think Coach Crustangel failed to mark up the different number tonight. Hopefully, I can just communicate with them that he is wearing 34 instead of 14. But he is in the system. That's the important part. Just forgot his green version of the 14. First pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Sam Kane. You see it all the time in the West Coast League. You try to avoid having wrong numbers, but every once in a while on these road trips, somebody gets to the field and says, oh no, I don't have that uniform. 1-0, breaking ball upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. It hasn't happened a lot with Yakima Valley. They've been making life really easy. Getting stuff back into the clubhouse after we get back from games has been a little harder, but at least they do the hard part first. 2-0, sent over the netting very softly into the football bleachers down the first base line, 2-1. You got to be paying attention when you're over there. Those soft fly balls can end up in your lap pretty quick. 2-1, breaking ball outside. 3 balls and a strike. The netting here is not very tall. It is very long, though. It covers all of the bleachers except for the beer garden and the area out in right field and right field foul. 3-1 to Sam Kane. Breaking ball nearly hit him. He'll send the bat back towards his dugout and will take a 2-out walk. That will bring up Royce Hale. First pitch, swing and a miss. Hale today, 0 for 1, grounded out in the 3rd inning, was hit by a pitch in the 1st. Next offering is lined right past his first base coach. 0-2 the count. Carl looking back towards first, trying to get through 3 innings without giving up a run. 0-2, wave and a miss, top shelf. Royce Hale down swinging. There's the first strikeout for Carl Mullen Kovash tonight. Another relatively clean inning work by Carl. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. We're through 5 here at Borleske Stadium. 4-0. Walla Walla leads it. We head to the 6th.
Where's the 20 from Saturday Night Ready? On the mark, set, sing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, run. For winner! Congratulations.
I think my coach actually only voted in the cards. The Texas thing, it's like, make sure it's okay with the umpire. No one's in trouble. Yeah, the worst.
To the top of the 6th inning we go here at Borleske Stadium. The game has picked up pace just a little bit. 4-0 Walla Walla leads. Carson Waples in his 2nd inning of relief. He had a 2-out error behind him, so he stranded 1 runner in the 5th, but got 3 pretty quick outs. Only 11 pitches to his name. Faces Parker Burt, Trey Godoy, Levi Sotomayor here in the 6th. The first pitch is a breaking ball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. As I noted in the 5th inning here in the 6th, Troy Osborne rather, as looks like Parker's going to be hit by a pitch here. Don't know why I said Troy Sanders. I think that's a Bend Elk. Man aboard here in the 6th inning to lead it off. Osborne getting some help from his dugout in terms of defensive positioning. The usual catcher playing left field today. Trey Godoy, first pitch swinging, and it is out towards Osborne. He's coming in, fighting the smoky air. He'll put it away. 3 pitches in the inning, man aboard, and 1 out after the fly out by Godoy. Trey 0 for 3 today after picking up an RBI single yesterday. Here's Levi Sotomayor. He is 0 for 2. Fly out to center field and a strikeout looking. First pitch inside to Sotomayor, 1-0. Levi last night going 1 for 3 with a single in the 9th inning. He was on twice. He was hit by a pitch. 1-0 pitch downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Brandon Stone waits on deck. He's 1 for 2 today. He's got 4 hits in the series. 2-0, fouled straight back and off of the wooden backstop. It goes all the way out to the foul line halfway between first or third and home. Trevor T picks it up and hands it off to the ball boy. 2 balls and a strike the count. Two 2-1, wave and a miss. Levi late on the fastball. It's 2-2. Nico Bavaro went 4 innings in his start. Waples working here in his 2nd full inning of relief. Sotomayor down the left field line, out of play. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ball boy runs a resupply of pearls out to Henry DeJesus. Pippins trying to stage a comeback. Down by 4. Nobody has scored since the 2nd inning. Levi over the head of Gage Reeser and down into left field for a hit. Osborne plays it. He will get it in quickly. 1 down, 2 aboard as Parker Burt moves up to second base. Levi picks up his 2nd hit of the series.
Ball number 9.
Nice little bloop single out towards left. Sets up Brandon Stone here with a runner in scoring position. Sweets have nobody tossing down in the pen. There are bodies down there. First offering, wave and a miss by Stone. He spins out of the box and has to recenter. It's 0-1. Cameron Sheriffs continues to warm up for Yakima Valley. He appears to be the next in line after Carl Mullen Kovash. The 1, change up at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike as it was called low by Henry DeJesus. Parker Burt standing at second base. Levi Sotomayor at first. Hit by pitch and a single is how those two have gotten on. 1-1. Poked foul into the Sweets dugout. Hopefully everybody was looking alive down there. 1 hopped right into the top step. One ball and 2 strikes. The Sweets have turned 1 double play so far tonight. That was back in the 1st inning. Parker Burt was the trail out. 1-2 from Waples. A bouncing ball over towards third. T gonna step on his bag. Cox fires, but Stone is safe over at first. So Walla Walla gets the lead out on a 5 unassisted, but Brandon Stone can fly down the base paths, and so he will reach on the fielder's choice. Same situation, but this time with 2 outs for Diego Davis. First and second, maybe just a touch more speed on the base paths. First pitch, a fastball hummed in there for strike 1. No balls and a strike to Davis. 0 for 1 today, a ground out to third. He walked in the second inning. Waples coming set at the belt. Hasn't looked back to second yet. Doesn't. Davis, a very slow tapper into foul territory on the third base side. The count now 0-2. Pippins with their best scoring opportunity since the second inning when they left the bases loaded. You wonder what could have changed had at least 1 run come across there in the second. Would have been a 2-1 ball game going to the bottom of the second inning. 0-2 to Davis, downstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cole French waiting on deck. 1-2 pitch to Davis. Fastball outer black, called a ball. The 100 or so umpires in the stands right behind home plate thinking that was strike 3. And again, all the coaching staff looking up towards the press box to see whether that was in or out. They know there's TrackMan over in the main booth. 2-2, a high bouncer, foul. We are relatively close to the action here in the press box. This has got to be one of the closest vantage points you get to the action in the West Coast League. We're not very high up. We're not very far away from home plate. Easily could have conversations back and forth standing from the field to the booth. Another 2-2 to Davis. A check swing over towards first. Knowles has it in fair territory. He'll take it to the bag himself. And that will be out number 3 here in the top of the 6th. To the bottom half of the inning we go. The Pippins leave 2 stranded as they get no runs on 1 hit and no errors. Bottom 6 next. Walla Walla leads it 4-0.
Yakima Valley College number 34. Cameron. Yeah.
Welcome back to Borleske Stadium. New pitcher into the game for the Yakima Valley Pippins here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Cameron Sheriff's making his second appearance of the summer. 1 1/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks. That came back against the Cascade Collegiate League on the 16th of July. Gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. And so Sheriff's coming in here in a 4-0 game. He will face Troy Osborne, Ethan Buckley, and Gaines Hassan. The final line on Carmel and Kovash, 3 innings, no hits, no runs, 2 walks and a strikeout on 42 pitches. A very good night in relief for Carl. So Sheriff's wearing 34 tonight, not his usual 14. Forgot the green 14 back in Yakima. First pitch a strike to Troy Osborne right at the knees. Had to pop over to the other booth and let Sweets general manager Cody know that this was indeed Sheriff's coming in. 0-1 downstairs, 1-1. I let the official scorers know, but I kind of realized right at the last second that Cody might want to know as well. He is actually doing the broadcast tonight for Walla Walla, as the 1-1 is popped up into very shallow center field. Well, not even center field. It's right on the cut of the grass. Jay O'Neill makes the catch on the proper side of second base for him. 1 down on the P4. I was looking down on my scorebook. All I saw was Garcia charging in hard. And then I saw O'Neill not moving, and then I realized the ball was tracking right towards him. So a couple pitches and 1 away here in the 6th for Sheriffs. Their usual play-by-play announcer here at Walla Walla, Brad Whitman, dealing with a little bit of a lost voice. And so Cody filling in for him on the broadcast. First pitch downstairs, 1-0 to Ethan Buckley. I might have to convince my general manager, Jordan Rowland, to do that for me once. Bouncing ball foul over on the left side, 1-1. Got 6 home games left. He could do a game, right? He's done PA before. I don't know if Jordan is listening right now, but I think that'd be fun. Make him do the broadcast. 1-1, looped down the left field line, but foul. The count 1-2. I love throwing people on the spot. Did that a couple times with my dad when I needed to take a break back in North Platte, and brought Marcos, one of my video guys, onto the call during the long homestand for a couple of innings. 1-2 popped up again on the infield. This one gets to the outfield grass. Stone going back there on the left side. Stone will make the catch in front of Trey Godoy. Trey kind of looks at him and says, "That was a pretty routine play for me. You made it kind of hard," but the two guys share a laugh and head back with 2 outs on the board. Pippins will take it. Sheriffs will take it too. Here's Gaines Hassan. Hopefully Brad can get his voice back. He does a pretty good job here at Walla Walla. Breaking ball drops in for strike 1 to Hassan. He's 0 for 2 today with a run scored after reaching on an error in the 2nd inning. The 0-1, breaking ball, just a touch high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. People don't realize what the broadcasters' vocal cords go through over the course of a season. And 1-1, rope down the left field line, fair ball. This will go all the way into foul territory, past the pole, and bounce off the wall. Turning around first, heading to second, Gaines Hassan. He's got a 2-out double. That'll bring up Ronan Schofield. But in a season like this, 54 to 58 games, depending on your non-leagues, if you're calling both home and road, in about 65 to 70 days. So if you're not in condition for that, just like the athletes, you have to train your voice to be able to do what I'm doing and what Brad does every night. And it just kind of baffles me. You think about how many games we play. First pitch down in the dirt, no advance by Gaines Hassan. A minor league broadcaster will call anywhere from 100 to 120, maybe even 135. And I think AAA tops out at 150 regular season games. And then, of course, the major leagues is a 162-game season. If you're the radio guy and you do every game, that's 162 games in around 180 days. 1-1 drops in, or 1-0 drops in for a 1-1. 2 away, man at second. I look forward to one day being able to train my voice to go that distance. Look back to second. 1-1. bounces in. Diego Davis with a great stop. He loses both the skull cap and the mask. Ronan Schofield picks up the mask. A little bit of common courtesy for Davis. Good sportsmanship there, and the count is 2-1. Look back towards second. Sheriff brings home the 2-1. It's again downstairs. Cameron making Diego Davis work pretty hard behind the dish. 3 balls and a strike. Cameron got the first 2 outs relatively quickly. Now approaching his 15th pitch of the outing. He'll likely have to go multiple innings after the early exit by Dawson Barabalt. 3-1, another one skips in. Moving on towards third, a throw down, safe. Gaines Hassan moves up an extra 90 feet, and standing at first is Ronan Schofield on the walk. That'll be a wild pitch that advances Hassan onto third. Everything was downstairs to the number 9 hitter. Top of the order for Walla Walla. This is Peyton Knowles hitting for the 4th time. This is the 6th inning. Runners at the corners for the Sweets. Runner at first takes off. The throw going to go down to second. It's a strong one by Davis. Tag applied on the helmet. Out at second base is Ronan Schofield. The run does not score as Gaines Hassan made his way towards the plate. We go to the 7th inning. 1 man left stranded for Walla Walla. No runs on 1 hit and no errors.
What was that? Well, just remember something.
I was like, we have a carrot cider and draft and please make here and
Top of the 7th inning here at Borleske Stadium. Walla Walla leads it 4-0. New pitcher into the game for the Sweets, JT Lewis from Grand Canyon University, making his debut on the mound for the Sweets. Tall left-hander. The first offering is in there for a strike to Cole French. French today 0 for 1 in his debut with the Pippins. He walked in the 2nd inning, and he flew out to center field in the 5th. Out of the windup, Lewis sends a breaking ball that's fouled away by French. It's now 0-2. Pippins trying to get their first run on the board. They've only been held scoreless once this year. 0-2, changeup, wave and a miss. Down on 3 pitches is Cole French. He is out number 1 here in the top of the 7th inning. Back to the top of the order for Yakima Valley, Tyson Miller. 0 for 3 today, 2 strikeouts and a flyout.
Third, right third.
Miller with a decent-sized hole up the middle. First pitch, that is downstairs for ball 1. So the immaculate inning bid is over. French struck out on 3 pitches, but that ball to Tyson nullifies it immediately. 1-0, misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. The scoreboard still has the 2 strikes from French's at bat up there. It's 2-0. Different batter. Out of the windup, here comes Lewis. Pitch misses upstairs. 3-0. They still haven't put the out on the board either. Maybe they don't want it. Pippins will take the free out up there. Tyson taking a strike all the way. 3 balls and 1 strike. They must have heard me. They corrected it. That's too bad. I was trying to steal an extra out. 3-1 to Tyson. Another fastball. This one's dotted more on the outer part of the plate. And the count moves to 3-2. JT Lewis looking for back-to-back strikeouts in his Walla Walla Sweets debut. The pitch, downstairs, ball 4. So a strikeout to start his career with the Sweets, and then a walk. I'll bring up Jay O'Neill. He's been on base all 3 times today. He's 1 for 2, single error walk. He's made it as far as third base. He was left stranded at second. Actually, he was picked off at second and then made it to first on the air. Breaking ball lifted out towards shallow center. Kane coming in. Hassan going back. It'll be Kane, the center fielder, making the catch. Jay O'Neill kept off the base paths for the first time tonight. 2 down, 1 out away from the stretch. Luis Garcia in danger of losing his 11-game hitting streak. Garcia today, a walk, a pop out, and a line out. First pitch, in across the shoe tops for ball 1. You'd like to see Lewis continue this hitting streak as long as possible. He's really been a big bright spot to talk about for Yakima Valley. Tyson's running, the pitch down and in, and Garcia leaning out over home plate is going to be called for interference. Buckley ran into Garcia on the throw down. Coach Crustangel arguing that Luis was in the box. Buckley, the pitch was inside, but they made contact. And that's what home plate umpire Henry DeJesus saw. And that will be the 3rd out of the inning. So we head to the stretch. Enjoy taking me out to the ball game. Garcia, not one usually that protests any calls. He's still standing in the batter's box. And now he's asking Henry DeJesus what happened. Here's the stretch. We'll be back.
Reminder that this is the last offer service at the beer garden. And this live field batter, people play hangout. This is the last offer also. This is
Bottom of the 7th inning. Stretch come and gone. Cameron Sheriff still out there for Yakima Valley, working into his second inning of relief. Peyton Knowles, Trevor T, Gage Reeser, the top of the order, set to face off against Sheriffs. Ronan Schofield was caught stealing after drawing a walk in the 6th inning, and so Peyton Knowles gets a fresh at-bat. Sheriffs, 2 quick outs, then a double and a walk, but a caught stealing got him out of the inning. Now the first pitch is flown out towards the left field foul territory. French will not get there as it trickles into the bullpen for the Sweets. 0-1 the count. Decent crowd's been on hand tonight, even though the bigger festivity here in Walla Walla tonight has been the Jelly Roll concert over at the golf course. 0-1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a big blast of subwoofers. You probably couldn't hear it on the crowd mic, but you could feel it here in the booth. 1-1, a high bouncer, shallow out towards second. Jay charging. Jay transfers the throw in time. Nice play by Jay O'Neill. He has been a defensive wizard today at second base. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Coach Crustangel and I joked about trying to get tossed from this game so we could go get the last-minute cheap tickets to go to the concert. Of course, that was all in fun. We both have a job to do here at the stadium tonight. But tickets that were retailing for almost $200 got down to $90 when we arrived at the ballpark, so it was a little tempting. First pitch breaking ball to Trevor T. It's inside for ball 1. Jelly Roll must have just gone on because there's a lot more subwoofer activity happening across the road. 1-0, change up inside that got Trevor T on the left part of his backside. Hit by pitch puts a man on here in the bottom of the 7th with 1 away. Here's Gage Reeser. Reeser with a 2-run home run tonight, also a ground out and a fly out. Temperatures continue to cool off ever so slightly. It's around 90 degrees now with no breeze. 1-0 after the pitch misses inside. 1 ball from Sheriffs. You've got T over at first, not going. Fastball brushes back Gage Reeser. 2 balls and no strikes. These guys know each other from their time at Yakima Valley College. I think Gage was staring out towards camera to try to get a smile out of him. Now a snap throw to first. Very close play. I'm not going to critique the decision-making of Kyle Sisk, but I will say he is on the move quite a bit when he's making calls. 2-0. That's down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. You'd really like your umpire to be as close to in position as possible. Yes, move if you need to see, but it seems like he's always making a safe for an out call in motion. 3-0 pitch. Gage standing still like a statue, and Sheriffs will lose in ball 4. That'll bring up Sam Kane with 2 aboard and only 1 out. Yakima Valley has a right-hander standing in the bullpen, but nobody there to catch him. Looks like Dan Bradley is going through some warm-up motions. He might be next in line after Sheriff's here. First pitch, this gets away from Davis, but not very far. Both runners will stay put as it was a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Kane today 0 for 2 with a ground out, a line drive, and a walk. 1-0, there's a slider on the outer half. 1 ball and 1 strike. Sweets on their 4th trip through the order. Ethan Salscheider asking for time. He's going to head out to the hill and have a chat with Cameron Sheriffs. That gives us a chance to look at the scoreboard from around the West Coast League right now. We're scoreboard watching a couple of different places, Corvallis, Portland especially. Bottom of the 7th in Edmonton, the Kamloops North Paws lead at 13-0. Bottom of the 4th in Corvallis, Bend and the Knights going very much offense mode. 12-7, the Elks lead it. That game's in the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 6th in Wenatchee, 4-4 tie between the Apple Sox and the Lefties. Bottom of the 6th in the Nanaimo, Victoria leads at 11-0. Bottom of the 6th at Bellingham, 7-0 Bells over the Falcons. Bottom of the 4th inning in Ridgefield, there is some rain and a weather delay has the Raptors currently postponed, or not postponed, they are delayed. The next game I was about to mention, Portland and Springfield, postponed at 7:33 due to inclement weather. The game will restart on 7:23 tomorrow at 3:15 p.m. So a full and a half doubleheader being played tomorrow at Walker Stadium. 1-1 drilled out towards the right center field gap. Miller chasing this back. This will one hop into the short fence, and it will bring home both runners. T scores. Reeser rounds third behind him. Motoring into third base with a bases clearing triple is Sam Kane, and the Sweets lead at 6-0. This ball was punished out to the right center field gap. So Kane ends up with a 3-bagger. He also gets 2 RBI. And that was just a little bit of an odd visit, in my opinion, from Ethan Salscheider. I love Salsa, but Sheriffs had just thrown his first strike against that batter, Sam Kane. Then you go out and kind of ruin the momentum. Line drive caught out at second base by Jay O'Neill. There's a good second out. Royce Hale up empty. 2 down. So now Sheriffs is an out away from getting out of the inning, only giving up the 2 runs on the night. Salsa heading down to the dugout now to get Dan Bradley warmed up. Osborne today 0 for 3. First pitch breaking ball, foul tipped and caught by Diego Davis. It's 0-1. And so no Portland-Springfield game to watch when we get back to the hotel tonight. That's what me and Coach Custangel did in the lobby. Watch that game finish. Watch Springfield defeat Portland last night. 0-1, breaking ball inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Hopefully the Ridgefield game can become final. Bottom of the 4th inning there. Obviously the rain a little bit less north of Metro Portland. 1-1, breaking ball downstairs, 2-1. If the Raptors haven't postponed it to a new date, then they're hoping to finish yet tonight. 2 balls and a strike, man at third. The pitch bounces away, but not far enough to bring home Sam Kane. This stayed on the dirt in the batter's circle. The count is 3-1, though. They put runners at the corners, and Ethan Buckley, another catcher in the batter's box, with a walk. Deep breath for Sheriffs. Here's the 3-1. Downstairs, ball 4. First walk of the night drawn by Troy Osborne. So Ethan Buckley will hit. He discards the leg guards. And we'll get his final couple warm-ups in before heading up to the dish. Diego Davis putting on the sign for the infield. What to do if runners take off. Pippins have already picked off, or caught a man stealing, rather, in a scenario like this. That happened in the 6th inning. 2 runs home here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 6-0 Sweets. Buckley with men at the corners. First pitch, a strike right over the heart of the plate. 0-1. In the 8th inning for Yakima Valley, it'll be Burt, Godoy, and Sotomayor due up. Sheriff set. Runner takes off at first. The throw is bobbled by Davis. Osborne will be allowed to take second. He stutter stepped and tried to draw a throw down. But it goes down as a stolen base for Osborne. 2 in scoring position for Ethan Buckley. An errant warm-up toss comes all the way from the Sweets dugout or bullpen all the way to the on-deck circle. 1-1 on the ground out towards short. Stone up with it. The throw across is in time to get Buckley, the catcher, running, and the side is retired. Walla Walla scores 2 runs on a grand total of 1 hit. It was a big 2 RBI triple by Sam Kane. There were no errors in the inning, and there were 2 men left on base. We go to the 8th inning, 6-0 Walla Walla here at Borleske Stadium. This is Pippins Baseball.
Number 3, from Montana. Jerry.
Top of the 8th inning here at Borleske Stadium. New pitcher into the game for the Walla Walla Sweets, Gabe Brayback from Gonzaga. Pitching in his 3rd game for Walla Walla. He's 1-0 over 4 innings work, 2 strikeouts and 4 walks with a 9 ERA. Opponents are hitting .294 against Brayback. Spent a season at Lynn Benton Community College, just wrapped up his 2nd season at Gonzaga. First pitch he throws into Parker Burt is cut on and missed for strike 1. So Burt in an 0-1 hole. Parker today is 0 for 1, grounding into a double play. He was hit by 2 different pitches today. 0-1, breaking ball, bottom drops out. Parker swings through it. It's 0-2. So Lewis ends his night going 1 inning, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout on only 12 pitches. Brayback looking for his first strikeout. The 0-2, cut on and missed, a nasty changeup, and Parker Burt down on 3 pitches. 1 away. Brayback from Ashland, Oregon. That one season at Lynn Benton College, he went 72 2/3 innings with a 1.11 ERA. 99 strikeouts to 23 walks. That is impressive. Pitching in 13 games for the Roadrunners. He was teammates with Ethan Buckley. And then, of course, Buck was at Gonzaga in 2025, so he was teammates with him there as well. So now the battery reunited as the first pitch in there at the top of the zone, 0-1 to Trey Godoy. Brayback probably feels pretty comfortable throwing to Buckley. 0-1, high and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 seasons at Gonzaga, Brayback is 4-4 in 16 games. He's got 42 strikeouts and 39 walks. 1-1, Godoy lifts it out to play foul over on the left side behind me. Highway 12 has not been threatened very much by any foul balls. The count 1-2 to Godoy. 0 for 3 today with a couple of outs over at third base and a fly out to left field. Trey's been going opposite field all night. 1-2. On the ground, this is pull side, diving stop by Knowles. He scrambles, he flips to the covering pitcher, and the out is recorded. Diving play by Peyton Knowles, and there are 2 away after robbing Trey Godoy of a hit. That will bring up Levi Sotomayor with 2 away. Pippins trying to get that first run on the scoreboard. They've only got 4 outs to try to do it. 6-0 the score. Walla Walla will have 8, 9, and 1 due up in the 8th. First pitch fouled straight back. This one will clang off of the netting right over top of my booth. And then it'll drift down into the open grassy area behind the concrete bleachers. Might be able to go get a souvenir after the game. Braybeck, 0-1 the count. Out of the stretch, the pitch drops in right at the top of the zone. Sotomayor asking where it was. He's down in the count, 0-2. It's been all Walla Walla so far tonight. Brandon Stone waits on deck, hoping to hit here in the 8th. The 0-2 pitch. Levi straight back into the netting. Sotomayor picked up a single in the 6th inning. It was a dying quail out towards left field. Strikeout and a flyout also today. No balls and 2 strikes. Big hole up the middle. The pitch. Fastball just missed on the inside corner. Braybeck really wanted that one. He was halfway towards his dugout already. Walla Walla in first place in the South, leading 6-0 against the Pippins. The 1-2 pitch. Sotomayor chops it right back up the middle. Hassan ranging, slow roller, grabs, transfers, throws him out. 1-2-3 inning work by Gabe Braybeck as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. 6-0 Walla Walla. Last chance for them to extend the lead when we come back.
Now pitching for the Pippins from Western Oklahoma State University, number 35, Dan Bradley.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Borleske Stadium. Walla Walla looking for a little bit more insurance here in a 6-0 game. It'll be Dan Bradley on to pitch for the Pippins. Bradley making his 7th appearance out of the bullpen. He's pitched 7 innings, 5 strikeouts and 7 walks, 4 earned runs for a 5.14 ERA. Opponents hitting only 125 against Dan Bradley. His last outing was here at Borleske Stadium on the 12th of July. He went 1 inning, giving up 3 runs on 1 hit, only 1 of them earned, and 2 walks as well. He faces 8, 9, and 1 in the Walla Walla Sweets order. First pitch, just a touch upstairs. Check swing. Did he go? No. Kyle Sisk says no swing. Gaines Hassan, 1 for 3 tonight. A double, a ground out to third, and an error by the third baseman French. Bradley coming set at the belt. 1-0 pitch on the way to Hassan. Breaking ball, loops above the top of the zone. It's 2-0. Dan from Western Oklahoma State College. Same place that AJ Mendoza, Luis Garcia, and Abel Ramos are from. 2-0, a rope out towards left field. Godoy readjusts. He backs up, backpedaling onto the track. He makes the catch. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trey broke in, but readjusted in time and found the ball through the hazy nighttime sky. You look up at the lights, you can definitely see a little bit of extra glow around them. That's not my astigmatism. That's all of the smoke in the air. Air quality index when we started was 116. There was talk if it got close to 175 that we wouldn't play. Still, not a clear night. First pitch to Ronan Schofield is a breaking ball outside. 1 ball and no strikes. The lefty 0 for 2 today with a walk, a ground out, and a fly out. Approaching the 9 o'clock hour here in Walla Walla, Washington. 1-0. That pitch caught the outer black. Schofield motioning it was outside. He's got to be careful with that. 1 ball and 1 strike. The all-time series is tied at 38 between these two teams. Yakima Valley first season of play in 2014. 1-1 upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. The Sweets were founded in 2009, began their first season in 2010. So this series dates back all the way to 2014. These two teams have played at least 3 games every year that they've been around at the same time. 2-1, fastball outside, 3 balls and a strike. This year and last year, 9 games between these two teams on the schedule. The Pippins went 5-4, losing that series to Walla Walla last year. They took 4 out of the 6 at home and then got swept here at Borleske Stadium. 3-1, that's a strike right on the inside black at the top of the zone. The count runs full with 1 away to Ronan Schofield. Here in a 6-0 game, Henry DeJesus is telling Schofield, come on, man, swing the bat. Schofield's tried to take his base twice already. Payoff from Dan Bradley. Here is a swing. It's a line drive right into the glove of Jay O'Neill at second. 2 away here in the 8th. Back to the top of the order, 5th trip through, Peyton Knowles. Yakima Valley hoping that that's the last sweep that they see until they rally in the top of the 9th. Gonna need 6 to at least send it to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Pippins will have 7, 8, and 9 in their order due up. Knowles today is 0 for 3, but he has a sacrifice fly, which is one of the 5 RBI tonight. First pitch rides inside, and this got a piece of Peyton Knowles. Hit by pitch for the leadoff batter, hitting 3rd here in the 8th inning. That brings up Trevor T. We'll see how aggressive Leo Rivera and company are with a 6-0 lead. Trevor T today is 0 for 2. A walk, a hit by pitch, reached on an error and scored, and then grounded out to second base in the 5th inning. Short lead at first for Knowles. Now he extends by a step. First offering from Bradley. Pitch below the knees. 1 ball and no strikes. Tomorrow, Yakima Valley slated to throw Tristan Pulliam. He had a decent outing his last time up. I do not know who the Sweets have projected as their starter. 1-0 upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Hopefully the smoke will be cleared out a little bit. It's bad enough that it's hot outside. AQI has actually gone up by 2. It's 118. It's going to be close to that 150 mark they're predicting tomorrow. 2-0. There's a strike at the top of the zone. 2-1. There's only 1 off day left in this 2026 season. It's on Monday. I'm not saying that we're going to get a postponement. It's been healthy enough to play the last couple of nights. 2-1, high and tight, 3 balls and a strike. But if there was a potential delay, then it would be interesting to see what we would do. Corvallis is in town Friday through Sunday. Then you have the off day, but then you have a homestand and then 6 road games to end it. 3-1, popped into the top of the net. It's 3-2. Runner at first will get a head start. Knowles is that man at first. Bradley trying to strand another Walla Walla sweep. They've left 7 on the base paths tonight, despite scoring 6 runs. They left 6 on the base paths last night. Payoff pitch on the way from Dan Bradley. Here it is, breaking ball. That is high ball 4. T stuck the elbow out trying to get hit. He is not plunked, but he will take his base anyway. Here's Gage Reeser. Reeser with a 2-run home run way back in the first inning. The rest of the day for Gage, ground out, fly out, walk. He's scored twice. First pitch, high and tight with a fastball, 1-0. This is similar to what happened the last time Bradley pitched here on this mound. We got a couple of quick outs and then just couldn't seem to find out number 3. Hound Tanaka is standing in the Pippins bullpen. Hopefully don't have to use him tonight. 1-0, sent foul back towards the road. It is 1-1. This lands on the roof on the opposite side of the press box. Reeser a Pippin last year, hitting about .230. Look back towards second for Bradley. Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball, spins at the knees, and it's strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Gage Reeser. Pippins again will have the bottom third in their order due up in the top of the 9th. Will they see Brabeck or will the Sweets bring in another pitcher? 1-2 from Bradley. Another breaking ball, golf down the left field line. This is going to drop in fair. At least 1 run will score. A stop sign put up at third for Trevor T. Gage Reeser with an RBI double. He's got 3 ribbies today, and the Sweets extend their lead to 7-0. Both of his hits have been down that left field line. The home run was much more left center, but either way, he is a pull hitter. Knowles scores. T stops at third. Here's Sam Kane, who had a RBI triple that scored 2 runs back in the 7th inning. First pitch right at the knees with a fastball, strike 1. Kane has played a good center field today. In the batter's box, 1 for 3 with a triple and a walk. Bradley looking over towards third. 0-1, looping breaking ball. This is a backhand by Stone. He can't handle it cleanly. He'll put it in his pocket. Everybody's safe, and it's 8-0 Walla Walla. Trevor T crosses the plate. Gage Reeser is at third. Sam Kane is on at first. E6 for Brandon Stone. That'll bring up Royce Hale, the designated hitter, the 7th man to hit here in the 8th inning. Pippin's not helping themselves. They now need 8 to try to extend this game. We were talking about the air quality forecast for tomorrow. Of course, that can change in an instant. Something that's a little more reliable is the temperature forecast. First pitch to Hale, lifted foul, out of play on the right side. 0-1. The forecast high temperature for tomorrow here in Walla Walla is 102 degrees. I don't know what the official high temperature got to today, but at one point in the ballpark, my National Weather Service registered at 100 degrees. Might see the hottest day of the week tomorrow. 0-1, back straight into the screen. It's 0-2. A couple people who might be 1 or 2 drinks in or flinching a little bit. There is a net there. There's about 3 rows of seats right behind the dish, and then you have a walkway, and then about 5 or 6 more rows, and then you get to the press box area. That gives you a sense of how close we are to the action. 0-2. Lifted high out towards right. Miller finding it in the night sky. He comes in, and he overran it. Reeser scores. Coming into third, and turning and scoring is Sam Kane. 2 RBI double by Royce Hale as Tyson Miller had no idea where the ball was in the night sky. It looked like Tyson had a pretty good beat on it, but he came in and all of a sudden saw it coming down behind him. With 2 outs, the runners never stopped moving. So 2 more come home. It's a 4-run inning for Walla Walla. Here's the 8th hitter to hit in the 8th inning, Troy Osborne. Sweet scoring at the start and now at the end of this game. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the 7th, 4 here in the 8th. Pippins need 1 out to try to swing the sticks one more time. First offering from Bradley, well outside, but stopped at the plate by Davis. 1-0. Hound Tanaka has sat down. This is the 3rd out in the 8th inning that is all Dan Bradley. Osborne today 0 for 3. He also drew a walk. 1-0, this hit him. This hit him on the front elbow. He's not wearing an elbow guard, it looks like, and he will painfully make his way down to first base. Well, he is wearing an elbow guard, but based on the sound, it didn't sound like it got him in the elbow guard. So training staff will go look on him. He needs to touch first base before he can be subbed out. Coach Crustangel heading out towards the fray as well, trying to check in on Osborne. That's the immediate concern right now. It looks like they've already got a pinch runner getting ready to go in for him. As soon as he touches first base, he will be subbed out, more than likely. There he goes and touches first. Now he'll start walking off. And it looks like Gunnar Guile will put a helmet on and will go run over at first base. Kind of an interesting powwow. You've got Henry DeJesus, Kyle Sisk, Leo Rivera, Kyle Crustangel, and Brandon Cabrera, along with the athletic training staff here, all checking on Troy Osborne. They're going to take Osborne out. They're going to put Guile in. So Osborne's fun experiment out in left field will be done as well. You never want to see anybody hurt. So hopefully everything's all right with Osborne. Maybe just a little bit of momentary pain versus long-term pain. 9th man to hit here in the 8th inning, Ethan Buckley, and now Hound Tanaka has stood up and has started throwing. Buckley today 1 for 3, a single in the 2nd, scored on a balk. He also walked in the 4th, popped out to shortstop in the 6th, and grounded out to shortstop in the 7th. 2 men are aboard. There's 2 outs. There's been 2 outs since the first 2 batters of this inning. Hassan and Schofield flew out and lined out. Hit by pitch, walk, double, E6, double, hit by pitch. Now here's Buckley. First offering to him is outside, off the plate, 1-0. You want to try to avoid Tanaka if possible. But at this point, Bradley having a little bit of trouble finding out number 3 here in the 8th inning. 10-0 Sweets. 1-0. Popped back towards Highway 12. 1 ball and 1 strike. Very slight breeze blowing in from center field, but really nothing much. 90 degrees here in Walla Walla. 1-1 pitch on the way from Dan Bradley. Here it comes. Looping breaking ball. Strike 2. Buckley leaned his elbow out there trying to get hit. That is a little bit more of a natural reaction. People wonder why players with those elbow guards start leaning in. Well, think about it. If something's coming at you, you clutch up and curl up, and you kind of lean in. You don't turn away. 1-2 here to Buckley. Another breaking ball down the left field line. This is foul. It had the distance. It's into the trees out beyond the bullpen. But Buckley could not keep it inside the pole. Whole horde of kids start running that direction to try to find the foul pearl. Gaines Hassan waiting in the on-deck circle. Sweet's trying to bat around. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bradley looks back towards second. Here's the pitch. It's above the head of Buckley. Both runners stay put. 10-0 game. Leo Rivera putting the brakes on a wild pitch opportunity. So Buckley now in a 2-2 count. Five minutes past 9 here in Walla Walla, Washington. You're listening to Pippins Baseball on YouTube and Mixler. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 men on. Pitch from Bradley. Check swing foul at the dish. Buckley didn't mean to, but his dugout making sure he hears it. Probably would have been strike 3. The breaking ball was dropping in. Two balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. It hit him. Buckley is plunked, and the Sweets have batted around. Base is loaded for Gaines Hassan. 10-0 the score, and in danger of ballooning even more. Coach Crestangel looking down towards the bullpen. You've got the righty here, Hassan, but then if Schofield ends up reaching again, to the plate at least, you'll probably bring in Tanaka for a lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch foul, back towards the screen. 0-1, Hassan flew out to left field back in the early parts of this 8th inning, I should say. Down in the count here, 0-1. Pippins trail by 10 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 0-1, way outside. Davis stops it at the plate, 1-1. Pippins will have 7, 8, and 9 due up to try to scratch across their first run of the night. Trying to avoid being shut out for the second time this season. 1-1 from Bradley. Sent foul again off the netting. This one will ricochet back towards the stands. The count now 1-2. Bradley has had quite a few of these hitters in 2-strike counts. $10-0 the score. Bases loaded, full of Sweets. The 1-2 pitch from Bradley is sawed off foul and back to the screen. We'll do it again. Bradley recenters. He's close to 40 pitches here in this 8th inning. A look at every base. Now he brings home the 1-2 pitch. It is popped up, but it will get out of play foul over on the right side. And so we'll do another one at 1-2. This has been an extremely long bottom half of the 8th inning. The game was 4-0 entering the 7th. It was 6-0 entering the inning. It's now 10-0 Walla Walla. They have the bases loaded. 1-2 count with 2 away. Called strike 3. Henry DeJesus says, we're done with the bottom of the 8th inning as Gaines Hassan is out number 1 and out number 3 in the frame. 4 runs come home, though. It's 10-0 Walla Walla We go to the top of the ninth. Pippins looking to break the shutout.
They're gonna score 11. Stop it. Stress. Watch that.
When I was
Top of the ninth inning here at Borleske Stadium. The Pippins trail 10-0. They will face a new pitcher for the Walla Walla Sweets. Coming in and wearing number 15 is Jackson Wendt. Wendt spelled W-E-N-D-T. From Lower Columbia College, his second season in the West Coast League, his third team. He was with Bend and Springfield for a combined 10 games last year, and then now pitching in his second game for the Sweets. His first was a scoreless inning with one walk against the Springfield Drifters on the 8th of July. So Wendt 6-5 out there on the hill from Meridian, Idaho. We'll try to get the final 3 outs of this game. Pippins trailing by 10-0. Brandon Stone, Diego Davis, Cole French, the 3 due up here in the ninth. Final line on Brabeck, 1 inning, no runs, no hits, no walks, 1 strikeout, 11 pitches. It's a huge mountain to climb. Yakima Valley down by 10. Still no runs on the board. First pitch is upstairs from Wendt. 1 ball and no strikes. Brandon Stone today, 1 for 3, a single, a flyout, and reaching on a fielder's choice. Wendt, the right-hander, tosses in a strike. It's 1-1. A decently thin crowd tonight has thinned out even more. Last night, there were 1,028 fans in attendance. My guess would probably be around 650 tonight. 1-1 at the knees. That's called a strike. 1-2. Some of the other field lights around the Borleske Stadium complex have been turned on. Kind of creates a little bit of extra light over here. I think that's the first time I think I've seen there's another baseball field out beyond left field here. 1-2, fouled straight back. That's the first time I think I've seen the lights on at that secondary field. Brighter LED, or not LEDs, the real lights. 1-2, brushes back Brandon Stone. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another little blip in the internet connection. That's not good. Hopefully we got you back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch at the knees, called strike 3. Brandon Stone rung up. There's 1 away here in the ninth. That'll bring up Diego Davis, the catcher for Yakima Valley, 0 for 2 today. The Pippins only 3 hits. They had 10 hits yesterday, 8 of them coming in the 7th inning or later. First offering, Davis takes a pitch upstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. (1-0), that misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. Pippins just trying to crack the goose egg up there. It's going to be very hard to come from 10 down, especially now that there's 1 out on the board, but Pippins have not been shut out since the early parts of this year. They lost 3-0 on June 2nd on their first road game of the year against Springfield. 3-0 after the pitch misses high and tight. Since then, the Pippins have been able to squeeze across at least one run in every game. Rio to Diego Davis. That is a gift strike from Henry DeJesus. 3-1. Went at Lower Columbia College. Pitched in 3 games, 3 innings with a 0 ERA, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. 3-1, right on the outer black. It's now 3-2. Davis takes his time getting back into the right-hand batter's box. Went also has some hitting stats, it appears, with Walla Walla. He had 1 at-bat. That came against the Pippins on the 10th. Payoff. A chopper out towards the first base side. Second baseman Hassan onto the covering pitcher. That is Went. 2 down here in the top of the 9th. A 4-1 putout as Knowles was back there with Hassan getting ready to field that ball. The defensive substitution, by the way, Gunnar Geil is in left field. We kind of assumed that after Troy Osborne left the game for being hit in the elbow. Cole French, the last hope for Yakima Valley. First pitch, a strike that drops in over the heart of the plate. French today 0 for 2, a strikeout, a flyout, and a walk. Cole in his first game with the Pippins, trying to come up big, down 10. Pitch brushes him back. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Borleske magic continues, though. Not wins and losses, but time of game. Last night's game time, 2 hours, 31 minutes. We're on pace to finish under 3 hours again. 1-1 right at the top of the zone. The Pippins down to their final strike. Game 3 before the All-Star break, 2 hours, 58 minutes. Game 2, 2:57. Game 1 was a 3-hour and 4-minute contest, but everything been relatively quick. Cole French and a 1-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Called strike 3. The game is over. The Pippins down in order in the top of the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. And the final score here at Borleske Stadium, Walla Walla victorious in Game 2 by a final score of 10-0. The Pippins shut out for the second time this season. Corey Keir with a little bit of a motion towards Yakima Valley's bench. He rubs me the wrong way. Pippins lose 10-0. They only come up with 3 hits tonight. And we will head to tomorrow, a rubber match in the series. Now the coaches exchanging some words from a distance. Pippins are going to take the high road and head out towards right field. Don't know what that's about. We'll find out when we get to the hotel. And we'll see what happens the rest of the series. Game 3 tomorrow, 6:35 p.m. It'll be a rubber match between the Pippins and the Sweets. Walla Walla, I believe, with tonight has clinched the season series. Pippins have a chance to get it back within 1 game tomorrow here at Borleske Stadium. Quick conversation for Coach. We're going to go talk to a player, and we'll be off the air. I'm Harmon Johnsen for all the Pippins signing off for tonight, saying stay safe. Have a wonderful rest of your night. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 6:35 p.m. Final score in this one, Walla Walla 10, Yakima Valley 0. You've been listening to Pippins Baseball.